All right, so we're going to go ahead and do some more Pert practice stuff. So we'll have some problems. These will be multiple choice, so take a look at them, and when you come up with an answer, go ahead and put it in the text chat, and then we'll talk a little bit. I'm assuming we can see the screen since nobody bothered to tell me. All right, let's go ahead and get going. All right, so this is one we've seen problems like this before. We just substitute in the values and come up with a number. Let's go ahead and work on that, and then we'll talk. All right, we come up with an answer for this one. Okay, Savion's going with D. Haley, did you come up with an answer yet? You're thinking D as well? Okay. So let's check it out. So we're just going to plug in the numbers. So it's going to be 3 instead of times A, we're going to call it times 1. Instead of B, we're going to call it times 2. And then plus 2. And then B is 2. And we're going to raise that to the third power. Okay. So we can multiply these three guys together. So 2 times 3 is 6. Then we do the exponents. 2 to the third is 8. So 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 and 6 is 22. Nice job. So yeah, you notice that one comes up a lot. So there's definitely going to be a problem like that on the Pert test. So just be able to do that kind of stuff, and you are good to go. All right, let's go ahead and check out another one. All right, give you a couple seconds to think about that one, and then we'll talk. Okay, so we've got to vote for C and we've got to vote for B. Okay, so let's be logical about this for starters. So 100% of 18 would be 18, right? So 181.5% would be more than 18, correct? So if it's more than 18, that means these guys are out. Okay. So if it's 200%, that would be twice as much as 18. So that'd be 36. So it's going to be a little less than 36. So that this guy's way too big. They just forgot the decimal point. So good answer. But if you wanted to do it on the calculator, 181% to do percent, you would just divide by 100. So it'd be 1.815 times 18. So we do 1.815 times 18. And there's our guy. Good. Okay, well, we're going to try to help you with that. But you understand what's going on here. If 100% is 18, 181% has to be bigger than 18. So this one here, as you can see, we could do this one here without actually breaking out the calculator. But, you know, if you get the calculator, you might as well. All right. Cool. Let's try another one. All right, so we're just solving for x. So again, you can do the algebra or you can plug in numbers till you get the right answer. It's really up to you. So take a few and then we'll talk. Okay, so Haley went with D. Did you do the algebra or did you just plug in? Savion went with D as well. She did the algebra. That's cool. Okay. So based on your answer, let's go ahead and plug that in, see if it works. So if we plug in 3 here and 3 here, so we have 3 plus 1, that's 4. So this is going to be 3 times 4 equals, and over here we've got 3 minus 2, so that's 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So it's 5 plus 7. So 12 equals 12. Beautiful. Okay, so if you did the algebra, we'd go ahead and distribute, right? So this would be 3x. This would be plus 3. Over here, we'd have 5x. And then 5 times negative 2 is minus 10, and then plus 7. All right, so go ahead and do that. We'll put these two guys together. That would give you a minus 3. So 5x minus 3 equals 3x plus 3. All right, so we'll subtract 3 off here. And we'll subtract 5y off of here. There's a y, no, it's x. It just looks like a y above it. Okay, that looks like a y as well. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to have minus 2x. These guys cancel. These guys cancel. And I have equals minus 6. Divide both sides by negative 2, and x equals positive 3. Good. So either way, it works out fine. Excellent. All right, let's move on. Okay, so the data in the table shows the results of Tracy trying to train her dog Snowy. It says, in what percentage of these trials did Snowy obey the given command? Okay. So what percentage did Snowy get it right? That's what we're looking for based on the chart. So check it out and then we'll talk. Okay, so we got some votes coming in for C. So the percentage where he obeyed, basically what we're looking for is we have 8 trials, right? So that would be 8 would be the bottom of the fraction. Then we look for the ones where things match up. So the first one was good. Then third one was good. And then it looks like 6 was good and 8 was good. So of the 8 trials here, Snowy got 4 of them right. And 4 over 8 as a percentage, that's 1/2, which is 50%. So half the time, Snowy's getting it right. Good. Okay, any questions? No problem, Shelby. Glad to have you here. So this one here is just going to be a little bit of distributive property, so it should be pretty simple. So go ahead and work on that, and then we'll talk. All right, so we got a couple votes for D. We got one for C. So again, we're just doing distribute, right? So the first one, we've got 3 times 2, that's going to be 6x. So that guy's out. And then here we're going to do 3 times 5 is 15, but then it's going to have to be x times y. And this is pretty common. Sometimes people forget to multiply by the x for the second term. So that's what happens if you got C, so then D is our guy. Okay? All right, good job. Let's go ahead and check out another one. Okay, so this is an order of operations. Let you guys work on that for a little bit, and then we'll talk. All right, we got a difference of opinion here. We've got a vote for B and a vote for A. All right, so this again is order of operations, so we'll start with the parentheses, right? So we got that, so we're going to have 26, then minus 7, and now times 8, divided by 4, and then plus 2. All right, so we took care of the exponents. Well, we took care of the parentheses. We don't have any exponents, right? Okay, so next thing we need to do is we need to multiply and divide from left to right. So here we're going to multiply here. So we're going to have 26 and then minus 56 and then divided by 4 and then plus 2. All right, so we have to take the guys in the middle and divide. So 56 divided by 4, just to be safe, we'll use the calculator. 56 divided by 4 is 14. Okay, so then we're going to have 26 minus 14 and then plus 2. All right, so now we just add and subtract. So I got 26 minus 14, that's going to be 12, and then 12 plus 2 is 14. There we go. Okay. So the order of operations problems, there's a definite set of rules, but most people have trouble with these. So that's why we try to practice them quite a bit. Okay, so nice job on that one, Haley. So again, just remember with the multiplying and dividing, you go from left to right. Okay. All right, let's check out another one. All right, so this one says, what percentage of the squares are shaded in the grid below? And I didn't have enough room, so I had to put it beside. All right, so go ahead and take a look at this. See what you think for an answer, and then we'll talk in a little bit. All right, so we got some votes for C. So again, we look at this thing, we've got, if you do some counting, this is 10 by 10. So that means there's 100 squares, so all we have to do is count up the ones that aren't shaded, right? So here's a row of 10. We got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 100 minus 17 is 83. Good. They should all be that easy, right? All right, let's go ahead and test another one out here. Okay, so it says, how many numbers between 10 and 25 are prime numbers? Now remember, prime numbers mean we can only multiply by 1 in itself. So we can't multiply by 2 or 3 or 5. You know, you can't have any multiples like that. So think about that for a little bit, and then we'll go through it. All right, so we got a couple votes for B. All right, so if you don't know your prime numbers, what we can do is you just list these guys out. Okay, so then what we can do is we say, well, all the even numbers can be divided by 2, right? So we just cross those guys off. All right, so let's look for some numbers that can be divided by 3. So 15 can be divided by 3. 21 can be divided by 3. All right, so if we did 2, we've taken care of 4. So is there any numbers that can be divided by 5 with what we've got left? 25 can. So I'm thinking these are our guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Nice work. And like I said, you may have had your prime numbers memorized. You may have known some of those guys already. So, but that's one way you can do it a little more systematically, if you will. Okay. Questions on that one? Cool. So that's pretty much just knowing the definition of a prime number, really. Okay. So let's go and check out another one. All right, so it says in the coordinate plane, Which point represents -1, 3? This should be quick. Okay, go ahead. Moving on. All right, so a little more going on with this one. But that last one was kind of a gimme. But we'll take those, right? All right. Go ahead and check these out. Let me know what you think. Okay, so remember the trick with these guys is to put the 2x on the bottom underneath everybody. So make them individual terms, and then it's a little easier to work with. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, Shelby, it happens to the best of us, I know. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. Now, answer B is actually still equivalent. It's still the same, but you can just actually simplify this a little bit more. Okay. So again, if we look at it this way, we say, okay, we've got 6/2. That's just 6 divided by 2. So it's going to be 3. 5x is upstairs, 1x downstairs. So we can cancel this guy out, drop the power by 1. So it's going to be x to the 4th. As you heard me say a couple thousand times, anything over itself is just 1. So it's going to be that. And then the last one here, we've got 4 divided by 2, so it's just going to be a 2 upstairs and an X downstairs. So that's our guy. Not quite sure why they would change the sign here. That's the only difference between C and D. All right, so nice job, Haley. All right. All right, so let's knock this one out and we'll call it. And again, this is just combining like terms, so it should be pretty easy. Go. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. So again, we're just combining like terms. So I've got 7 minus 2, so that's going to be 5. Get rid of that guy. Then I've got 3xy, and then remember this minus sign here, minus 3xy, so those drop out. So that gets rid of that guy. And then your last step is just minus 9 minus a minus 5 is plus 5, right? So it would give us negative 4. So there's your guy. So good job, Shelby. Good job, Haley. And we are out of time. So we will stop there for today. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. And we'll see you all next time.